Hospitality Influencer Show by Raj Hospitality. Our today's guest is a friend, a natural lover, and an entrepreneur, tour operator, and our dearest Mr. Karthik Davey. Welcome to the show, Mr. Karthik Davey.
Thank you, Raj. Glad to be here.
Seeing you after a long, very long time.
Yes, actually, yes.
For all the viewers, actually, just would like to have a small brief about Mr. Karthik Davey. It's a huge brief, but then I'm just giving you a very small glimpse of. He has been in the tourism industry in 1994. Since 1998, an entrepreneur and organized private package tours and individual food from Europe. He's a tour operator and run travel agency organizing private tours for Europeans to India, in Germany, running ID Global Horizon, a specialist in tailor-made travel to India and Ayurveda therapies. Instead of being an operator from India doing business with Europeans, they were able to run ID Globals with a full service license like any other European operator, making their standing apart, a par with others. And in fact, I will say that his boutique and small size has been something. What they go is basically they don't look for big properties. They look for small, beautiful boutique properties where they can give a personalized service to the guest. Dole, I will say, I hope I'm spelling it out right, Dole. Then Bandipur is it's a conception which is an example of a ecotourism project, and you can see that it has been so refreshing. I've seen many of his photographs. I keep seeing many of his photographs because I always felt like I should go there, but it's a beautiful project which is in Bandipur. And he's a dog lover, and I have 6 Chippy Pari hounds at home. I don't know whether it's 6 or it has been increased more, but you can always see.
No, it is 6.
6, okay. So he also has started a pet-friendly 3-bedroom design villa just outside Mysore called Davey's Townhouse. Lately, he has also funded the building of an animal clinic at Ooty in Nilgiris, which is called SPACA, in the memory of 2 of his hounds. So it is Karthik ji. There's much more to talk about Karthik ji. It's a huge thing because I share a lot of good bond with him. Know him for so many years and very motivated. Very, I've never seen him depressed. Like he's always with a lot of fun, lot of actions, and lot of energy. So that is Karthik for you today. Karthik ji, your journey in the tourism industry, your company ID Globals in Germany, and your very interesting product at Bandipur. Can you explain your journey filled with challenges, inspirations, and passion?
Well, see, I was basically a student of science, and from science, and then that gives me I would say, that gave me more than studying of science, how to analyze and how to how to conclude things, how to come at answers. That's what I learned finally, and what it taught you was I studied chemistry. It taught you patience.
Okay.
So I can stand for 6 hours in a lab, okay, without any food, and go on working till I find the correct answer. Okay, so that patience teaches you. After that, I studied languages because I found languages were a very interesting thing, and I really didn't have to make any effort to learn. So I ended up learning Russian partly, and then finally ended up with German, where I almost did a master's degree in German studies. Which I didn't complete because I had a very freak accident in '98, and that put the whole my life perspective and my life completely upside down. And that being the case, I decided to. After that, I said, okay, fine, let me not study further while I was working and studying. I was already in tourism at that time, and then I decided to just go solo and start my own company. After a while, and I left India for the simple reason I didn't want people to look at me with my earlier avatar with 2 arms. It was sort of a escape, so to say, from people who knew you, who would even look at you and say like, oh, I know you before, and this was the thing than what you are now. So a sort of great escape happened for me, so that I could start afresh. People just didn't know me. I was a totally new piece of paper for them, completely new person who just had 1 arm. That's what only thing. So that made it much easier. So doing that and starting a company as a fledgling, and then getting regular customers from Germany, as you told, as a full service company. Even though boutique inside, but we have remained 20 years in business. Okay, and we have serviced a lot of customers who have repeated with us. and we started with just the package tours, and finally got on to a specialization with Ayurveda therapies in Kerala. And you yourself know it, and then many people, many colleagues in Kerala would know me that I do business with most of the big and good Ayurveda projects that have been there for all the years, because we have certain questions which we ask, and then if these questions are answered in the affirmative, then they get listed with us. Okay. And unlike everybody else in Germany or anywhere else who would say, yeah, that is good, the difference what I have made is, I tell people I have visited the property.
Yeah.
We have chosen. So it's a lived experience, and not of course you can't do a 14-day stay every time, but then you visited, what are the facilities. So that gives the customer quite a confidence to book it with you. Other than somebody who says, my colleague told me, and then the hotel says, and all, that's a different part of the story. The other thing, what we always did while selling a product, we were very open about the product, in so much so that we even today, we share the brochure of the property with the customer.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, after all, we are selling service to them. Okay. And we are selling the service of bringing them there and making them have that experience. But what is wrong in sharing the real feature? What is being promoted by the promoter himself, the owner of the property? So that's what we do. In short, that's what we've done, and that has been a success story for 20 years now. And somewhere down the line, I had visited Bandipur in the 90s, and 2004, when I came over here, I chanced upon this place. Yeah. And then I didn't really follow it much, but then finally I did manage to come on a short week or 10-day visiting my parents in Chennai. And then it was a decision of 15 minutes to be here, and said, this is the place. So that started the whole thing. And then for 3 years, I didn't build anything because it was a thought process. I never start digging before I am sure. Yeah. So it took a process of 3 years to arrive at a design with the right architect, with the right things. And I said, okay, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it on very sound eco methods first itself. We'll not try and invent the wheel as we go, but let's start with it itself. So we flew in the specialists. So we flew in the wastewater management guys who had done for Symbiosis in Pune. Okay, very large water bodies and all they had created for them. We flew in those people and said, okay, see, this is a small place, but still I wanted us at a standing at par with something which is great. So with solar panels and how to reduce it. So the difference we have tried here to do in Bandipur, which finally ended up my home, was that, give an experience which is wholesome and very changing. Okay. So the idea has been we always say less is more. Okay. But then we said the conscious less. You have to be consciously less. So of course it may sound terrible to some people, but I actually control what my guest uses. Correct. Okay. On the background. So I can actually control how much power he uses, you see, and bring it down to a minimum. And I tell them, well, we can bring it down to the minimum. Then your stay is going to be very green. Okay. And add it with things like, service, in the sense like, I prefer having a person serving coffee to my guest than leaving a coffee maker in the room. Okay. So we say, sir, we'll serve it to you. We'll serve it to you. Whatever time you want. You want it at 4, we'll get it at 4. You'll get it at 5, you'll get it at 5. You want it at 10, you'll get it at 10. Just tell us, just walkie us, and we will sell it. We'll give it to you. And so we give an experience which is like refreshing, living here on a farm with biodiversity garden and rainwater harvesting and everything, all the works that we have tried to do. So we bring it down to a level where almost like 95% of the energy is solar bound and used. Okay. And not just the energy, everything. So it's self-sustainable. So down the line, we took a farm nearby where we grow our vegetables also. Okay. Now we always thought, that's a great thing to have, because the guests can have organically grown vegetables and enjoy and taste it also accordingly and visit the facility there. What it actually helped us was in the Corona times where we could not go and buy stuff. Okay. So we got the taste of our own fruits, saying like, oh, you can't just go and buy stuff. It's okay. The farm is in the village, just go and get your veggies, So finally you realize that even if it is deluge is coming, you can at least try and survive in a decent manner.
Yeah.
When you bring your needs to a level which is sustainable. Yeah. So that's what we've done here. We've actually worked from our stomach onwards, what we felt like, which is good, and given that experience in Bandipur to people. Yeah. That's what we've done. Yeah. And otherwise it's a nice simple place with great views to the Nilgiris.
Thank you, sir. You have already answered many of my questions which I'm supposed to ask. You're mostly
Yeah.
from Bandipur with some fascinating dogs which are like a family to you. Have you kept them
Yeah.
because you truly love them or safety reasons as you're in a jungle?
Raj, it's like this. See, the term Dole's Den, yeah, is from the Indian wild dog. Dole is the Indian wild dog.
Okay.
Okay. Now, to just say, the Indian wild dog is very unique because the Indian wild dog, Coon alpinus, occupies its own genus. Okay. When you have a species and the higher one is genus. Now, this fellow is so unique that he is the only fellow in that genus.
Okay.
Okay. And these wild dogs, they never grow bigger than 20 to 22 kgs, but you will see them in the forest attacking, even trying to run between the elephants also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was fascinated by the loss of fear that they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. They don't fear anything, so they work as a team, but they don't fear many of the things, which is a wonderful trait to have, to go and attack something which is like 10 times your size.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they managed to pull down a whole sambar which is 250 kg in water.
Oh.
One single dog will pull the sambar down, So that's the difference in what I find, so that got me thinking with the wild dogs. And the closest I could get was, looking for dogs to have here.
Okay.
Yeah. So then one of my consultants at that time, he used to have a caravan hound.
Okay.
So I asked him, what should I get? And of course, there were like usual name like German Shepherd, this and all that. But then he said, see, Karthik, get a hound. A hound loves his master. Then I said, why? All the dogs do. He said, no, the other dogs love food. The hound is capable of getting its own food, but still loves you.
Okay.
And that is the difference.
Okay.
So the closest I could get to a wolf, the closest I could get to a non-barking kind of dog, reasonably less barking, was these hounds. And then I did a bit of study and found that the Chippy-Parai is a very rare breed from Tamil Nadu, like the Kanni and Mudol and others. And that's how I got them as a pair. And then they reproduced. I gave some of them, and now there's one actually near Mattanur. I've given one of my pups to Mattanur. 2 are in Pune, and 2 are in Madurai.
Okay.
And 2 of the pups that were born here are with me.
Okay.
So all that has happened in the years, and I'm of course because of the love for the Indian breeds, I'm one of the founding members of the Society of Indian Breeds of Dogs.
Okay.
This is a pan-India society. So we organize dog shows and different things in different parts of India. Now, the next one, when the COVID scenario opens up, we'll be trying to have a show in Belgaum. Okay. So, and even in Kerala now, I'm reading there are many enthusiasts. So we'll be glad to have sometime a show in Kerala also to showcase these breeds and the beauty. So it's not just safety, because it's a wild place. I can't leave the dogs out at night. Yeah. But it's the closest you can get to something which is a dog and a hound. And for me, it's an experience of knowing the very raw kind of jungle which is around us, Okay. But then you're experiencing love, affection in its truest form. It's that.
How do you find the tourism from Germany to Kerala for Ayurveda over the last 5 years and the North India for the last 2 years? Is the business growing?
Yeah, except for the COVID scenario, it was growing. Yeah, it was growing. Yeah, there is what I felt there's a overkill on Ayurveda. Every company was opening different centers, and then it was getting very difficult to find out which is good. Because every business house was opening a center or a hotel in Munnar or somewhere, and then but we did Ayurveda also. So it cannot be something which is overly thrown everywhere. So it has to be something. We felt that the uniqueness has to remain somewhere. Yeah. So the government has done quite a bit by giving green leaf and this leaf, the olive leaf and all that. But it has grown. And what I would suggest, what I feel is like it has either grown in a quite an uncontrolled fashion, okay, where everybody and anybody was like saying we're doing it, yeah. But for us, it has grown in numbers, yeah. And to North India also, we had our package tours. But more and more, what I felt, like package tours were getting only in the high end. We could sell it.
Yeah.
The new economy and the new online booking facilities was making it difficult to reach out to the mid-market segment,
Okay.
because they were able to book things online, yeah, and their expectations were different, of course, yeah. So either you had your own clientele which was ready to pay that extra thing for the service, okay, or if somebody was like, well, I can do it myself, you know, I can book the hotels and take a cab and go. So you're not going to get the same number of people. So the number was steadily reducing, I would feel, you know,
Okay.
not in the monetary terms, but in the number terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what we felt. Yeah.
Who are your clients in Dole, and like what kind of experience they carry back?
At Dolsten, the experience, as I told you, is more of nature outside. Okay. So we are a non-AC place. We are a non-hotel kind of place. Setting is very informal. And so people who come here are always people who are looking for a different kind of product than just a club holiday. Okay. So, but then so we have domestic, we have got international, and we've got sometimes people long stays, some very great nature lovers who would like stay for a week and then doing just bird watching or going for different safaris and all that. Because we have, with our in-house naturalists, we're able to provide those kind of experiences. But Dolsten is envisaged as people for people who have a certain kind of mindset. Okay, mindset as in they should be able to differentiate what is just thrown in as money, okay, then the value for it. Okay. So people who don't put a price tag on privacy. Okay, privacy is something you can't put something, you can't quantify it, you know. You can't just say what is privacy, what is luxury. Okay, luxury is space, luxury is privacy, luxury is like a place to be. Okay, so you can have a club holiday, but then if you have a neighbor who's like staying right next door to you and then sneezing away, it's not going to give you it's not going to give you the same kind of pleasure. Or like if you have a lovely balcony to stand out, but your neighbor's going to look at you when you're kissing your wife or your girlfriend, it's not going to give you that kind of experience. So it's that finesse of it is basically for somebody who would say for possibly in the morning trade on the Bombay Stock Exchange, okay, and the evening be able to just put it aside, sit at the campfire and say, well, it's okay, I've done for the day. Okay, so it's somebody who can differentiate that, you know. So it's those kind of people, plus of course people who are aware of their surroundings, you know, of how to live, not to waste water. Like one of the things what we write in the rooms is like, take your garbage back with you, because we don't have any garbage facility close by 20-30 kilometers away. Okay, so many people actually do that, and my wife makes very small gifts, mementos for them. Okay, handmade, hand painted, which is gifted to them, so that they feel, you know, oh, we've done something good and we get something for it also. Yeah, so these are very, very small things, but then, you know, people who are aware of what it takes to run something in the wilderness. Okay, it's for them, and not for people who would like to stay indoors. It is not. You want you to spend time outside, you can always spend time at home.
I agree with you. So what did you do productive during this COVID times? You had enough time, revenue was bad, and you had to maintain the property. And how did you actually come out of this worst time?
Yeah, see, you come out with resilience. Okay, and the second thing, what you come out with your belief in what you have done. So the most basic thing, first time I look at people is like, you know, believe in what you're doing. Okay, so we at our place here, we kept ourselves busy, cleaning up, sprucing up the place. We didn't send our staff back home or anywhere else saying like we can't or something. I said, fine, okay, there is going to be a cut in salary, but okay, let me do something. Let's do like this. Let's work half a day. Everyone works half a day. Okay. I'm cutting a salary or something, but fine. I'm not going to throw any of you out. Okay. Everyone stays in, but you take them into confidence. Okay. So like 15, 16 people who are here, taken into confidence and say like, well, it's my take. And either you walk it with me. Okay. If you walk it with me, we might just come out. Okay. So being productive was like cleaning the place, maintaining it, getting it going. So the day they said go and open, we could open.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So and my wife, say for example, she made a set of elephants called the Corona series elephants from a lot of waste cloth and a lot of things and all that, which the guests are actually at present buying. Okay. And I for myself again got things organized, got a new website going, got different work, what was like pending, finishing off. So whatever we could do, we used the time productively. Okay. Or for that matter, tried to lose some weight, that which I of course eventually did, and eat a different kind of food, leave out certain things, and so slowly, put order into your life. This is a good chance to do so.
Great.
Yeah. So and the revenues, yes, they were low, but then you have to have some thing to fall back on.
Yes. Super.
And I can say touch wood, yes, yeah, I have worked hard earlier, and it helped.
Very good. Have you had any adventures recently in the jungle areas around? And what was that? The jungle experience? Something very...
Oh, my latest jungle experience was looking at some leopards on a tree, or a tiger somewhere on a safari, which was very interesting. Yeah. Or some elephants on the drive that when we go out of the house and then come to the main road, and and of course we have the yearly nesting of the Baya weaver birds who come here, and that was happening just after COVID and just after Corona, the main crazy time finished off. The Baya weaver birds coming in and nesting here over the water. That's a spectacle by itself, and it happens every year, and it's always a great thing to look at and see. So that way, yes, but otherwise, I don't really try to go and challenge the wild by saying I'll go on foot on something and be foolish. There's a small difference in that. So my experience in the wilderness are consciously done. Okay, they are not unconscious. But yes, we have an elephant which is moving around at the moment, and he'll move around for another 2-3 months. So you hear him every evening outside. But that's about it. Yeah.
Beautiful, very beautiful. I know you are a person. I know you for so many years. You're a self-made man, and you stay truly self-motivated. What are your tips to the younger generation today to keep them self-motivated?
Don't say no to yourself first.
Very true.
Huh? Don't negate things, first thing. And the other thing is don't fear.
Yeah.
At the most, what will happen? It will not work, right? You can start over again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not the end of the road.
Absolutely.
So if it didn't work this time, well, you can try it. But if you and find people who would inspire you. Okay. You don't have to meet the person who inspires you. That's another part of the story. But take time off on equipping yourself. Okay. And for the youngsters, the other thing is there are many things more important in life than many youngsters what I've interviewed lately also have brought out family, this and all that. Yes, of course, that's important, but then it can't be the only one factor that is moving you. You have to believe in something which is higher and higher achievable, just like something like yourself, Raj. Anyway, so you know it, what I'm talking about. Yeah. So it has to be somewhere which is higher achievable, and you should work towards it, and a constant remembrance of that is required.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Karthik. It was a superb conversation in the morning. Actually, you made my day. In fact, I did not have any other appointment because it was for a long time I want to have a meeting with you, especially during the COVID times. I wanted to call you and talk to you, but then I was just going through my diary. I said I missed this person, so I should definitely call you back. And
why don't you come over and pay me a visit here?
I'm actually due, and I'm definitely coming in. Thank you, Karthik.
Okay.
It was a wonderful time.
Thanks, Raj.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.